I've seen all good people now. I see you when you're a little baby, when you were sweet, maybe crying, but it's okay. Babies cry because it is difficult to communicate, and they are frustrated. It's natural. Hold them, love them. Keep them close to your chest that they can feel your heart and your lungs. For the first 9 months of their existence, they know this. As they become more conscious, as their receptivity and sensitivity increases, what is the most presiding stimulus for them? It is this feeling of your heart pulsing with your life energy, sharing it with them. It is their pulse too, our pulse too. It is what all of us have experienced. Oh, keeping this in mind, if a baby needs to be comforted, put them under your shirt. Let them be close to you, allowing them to remember when it was more peaceful for them than coming into this world where now they're just beginning all over again. It's a second beginning for them. Using your own compassion and empathy to know this. Back to basics is what we were doing yesterday, and we're going to continue back to basics today because it's always important every day to return to a sense of being, of understanding, of belonging, of being aware of whom we are, what we are. Because with this widening, broadening perspective, then it gives us better clarity to understand everything that's going on inside of us and outside. We also might make better decisions, have more experience, wisdom, maturity, from which we can grow a decision. That's what we're doing. And where we see we are failing or not doing as well as we want to, we can plant seeds of encouragement, of nourishment for our own being. We, in our own soul garden, have this opportunity every day. And in every day there are 86,400 moments. So there's a lot of moments where we can play, be in our gardens. It only takes a moment or two or three. Doesn't take an hour or half an hour to rummage around a little bit and plant. A seed can be planted in just a moment or two. I am more patient. I am stronger day by day. How long did that take? 2 seeds. 5 seconds? 4 seconds? We have no excuses. It is ignorance that offers one an excuse, not wisdom, not maturity, not experience. There's plenty of time every day to accomplish what we set out for, what we want to, what we aspire toward, what goals we make. The quality of our life is in the effort that we make. That doesn't mean it's easy. And it doesn't mean that it needs to be hard. We just want to be aware, alert, alive. I'm sure by now you've already found a comfortable posture. And considering everything, it is a location or an environment where one is undisturbed. One can focus more intently on or concentrate more on what we're doing. And one is practicing. So we begin inside. where we already have tools that have been working for the duration of our lives. It is a great experiment that is ongoing to be alive in this universe, on this world. It is best to remember and not take for granted all the miracles that we represent. And you well know, if you've been following some of these podcasts, that I have a sacred saying. I'll say it right now, and if you'd like, you can say it with me or listen in, sharing it. We are bundles of miracles, here, now, humbled by our awareness of the immensity, and I mean in all directions, in contemplating everything that we can muster of this immensity of creation. Humbled by our expanded perception, and thankful that we have an opportunity to be alive. Further, I add for you, for us, to consider that one doesn't need to say the sacred saying that you have in any one particular way. No matter what, it will be different in every day or every time. Maybe no different than in one's intonation, where one places an accent on different words. So don't get caught up in things like that. Please. Be free. Be adaptive. Be flexible, as one needs to be to nourish oneself. You don't need the same thing every day. You need basics every day. Here we are. So yesterday we were thinking about these basics, back to basics, and we discussed our breathing, which is paramount. We need to breathe. It's important. Our body is dependent upon the activity of breathing, the oxygenation of our bloodstream, that this form of energy can be shared with our cells to maintain, to further, to enhance, to be alive. Following one's pulsing body, then, and one's breath that initiates this oxygenation of our blood. Feeling them both. You know what I mean. Feeling one's chest rise and fall. Being aware of the four parts of one's breathing. One's inhale. The pause at the top of one's inhale. And one's exhale. And the pause at the bottom of one's exhale. Before we begin again. And being mindful about this as a form of focusing one's consciousness, one's thoughts. Sometimes we need to coax our beings to settle down, to be at ease, to be calm, to find a sense of tranquility within our own being. So this is a way. This is a tool. Similarly, not only focusing upon our breathing, but on the undulating, ecstatic nature of our pulse, following it everywhere, becoming more familiar every day with one's pulsing body. And doing this now. So these two are very powerful interrelated tools. In all traditions, people speak about breathing, be it Buddhists or Hindus or Christians or Muslims, Jains, Jews, Sikhs, Zoroastrians, Druids. Everyone speaks about breathing, its ability to soothe and to calm, to initiate a beginning of a meditative, a spiritual process of some kind. Following inside, as we're suggesting, to be aware of one's pulse, one's heart squeezing, pressurizing the vascular system of your arteries and veins. It's a miracle. Further, the two of these together, what are they doing? Right? They're sustaining our lives. And what is the result of this? Is that we are feeding ourselves. Well, we have trillions of cells. Scientists are saying now 37 trillion cells in an adult. A trillion cells by the time 9 months are up and we are born into this world. So we go from 0 to a trillion, and from a trillion to 37 trillion cells. And we're feeding them. And what are they doing? They're energized. They're shaking. They're vibrating. They're shimmering with life energy. All of them. All of us. Feeling beneath one's pulse. Beneath the rise and fall of one's chest. Feeling deeper inside. It is not so much that it is deeper inside because it's everywhere. It's in the tips of one's fingers or the end of one's nose. It is everywhere. This process is going on. But because of its frequency being in every moment, it is something taken for granted. It's happening, I don't even know how many times. Hundreds of thousands, millions of times a day. We breathe 15 to 20,000 times a day. We pulse, our hearts beat the rhythm and cadence of life 90,000 times a day. So how often are we vibrating with life? Good question. I don't know if we have an answer for that, but a lot. So it's taken for granted. Okay. Being aware of this is a basic tool. So we have 1 in breath, 2 in pulse, and 3 in the shimmering majesty, ecstatic, if you like. If you focus and concentrate enough upon your own being, you will find a sense of ecstatic energy emanating from your being, just like the heat. It's all working together. It's all part and parcel of the same thing. You and me. These are the basics. Long before there were Christians or Muslims or Jews or all the different religions that we can contemplate from ancient Egypt, etc. These three were part of whom we are. Finding this foundation allows us to settle down. Being aware of these three processes, if we can call them that, helps us to find a sense of equilibrium and tranquility, a sense of harmony, a sense of grace. doing this, please, being aware of these three, practicing. If you are lacking in some manner of this, then practice more. If you have questions or have comments or suggestions, please. My website is up and working. I'm going to put the name of it down. It's zoranthegardener.com. ZARANTHEGARDENER. zoranthegardener.com. And you can offer suggestions or comments. I want to improve. I want to be nourished. I think of this every day. How can I improve? What can I do to do a better practice, a better job? And this is nurturing oneself. Having goals and aspirations. Being aware. Practicing all day. Our time is gone already. It flies by so quickly. All day. Namaste.